Hi everyone, this is Max, the leader of Flux, with an update for the 20th of January. We have now passed the 500 members mark, which is fantastic. That doesn't mean we're all the way there yet. I'll get into that in a moment. There are three things that I just wanted to talk about today. So one of them is the registration timing, which I think I briefly touched on before, but I got some details wrong, so I want to correct that. The membership validation process, and finally a poll that I'm going to send out shortly for all of our members to help decide the name that we actually go with on the ballot paper. We have a few ideas, and we just want to, consult everyone before we put it down in stone as such. So, in terms of the registration timing, I think I initially said and was working under the assumption that registration was 1 month with a 3-month cooldown. I was incorrect. I now see why I was incorrect. On the AEC party registration guide, it describes that it's a minimum 3-month process, but there is no cooldown period. And what the 3 months is comprised of is 1 month for the initial sort of contacting members and making sure that everything's all in order. And then there's basically administrative stuff for the next 2 months. It's a bit unfortunate because I don't see a reason they can't do all of it at once. So there's no reason it needs to be a 3-month period. I suspect that maybe there's been a little bit of political manipulation in the past or some such to draw out that process. Anyway, 1 month of that is waiting for people to respond and submit either complaints or anything else that they might have about party registration. So that's that. So it's a 3-month process. We have enough time. If we get rejected after the first month, as in users don't validate, or our members don't validate rather, then we can have a second try, all of that sort of stuff. So segueing into the validation process and what we're doing here. We've now gone through all our 530 odd submissions and put them all into the AEC site, and out of that we've come up with about 260 valid members. That might be a little bit lower if we're counting duplicates. So if we presume 250 valid members, we're at about a 50% success rate on the validation process. For those users whose details haven't validated, you will receive an email in the coming days that invites you to click a link and go to a site and update your details there. On that site, there will also be a place to check your details against the AEC role, so you can find out what does and doesn't work and put the right details in. We absolutely need 500 members that we can fully validate from the AEC electoral roll. And it's really important that we get those. We can then do, say, another 50 members that haven't fully validated. So, for example, partial matches, but going with 550 fully validated is always going to be the optimum case. So we need to keep gathering members, so keep telling people when we reach 550 validated members will be when we submit our registration papers. And hopefully by that time we'll have the constitution written and get all of our other ducks in a row. So actually I'll briefly touch on the constitution as well. As some people have pointed out and have sort of raised with me, including members of other parties, the idea of people infiltrating a party for malicious purposes is not unknown. And for this, as well as other reasons, we're going with what is essentially a benevolent dictatorship model for the Constitution. Once we're elected into Parliament, then that's the time when I think we should give some real thought to how to write a good Constitution to protect the party and make sure that we're not going to fall over, I guess. So to summarize, the benevolent dictatorship model is there to make sure that we can execute this without being interrupted by either people who don't like the party or any sort of like collusion or anything like that. So that's there. It'll have some other clauses and some, it'll basically be a bare bones constitution. There won't be that much to it. We'll probably write a charter at the same time, which just talks about, it'll probably talk about theory of knowledge and source of where good policy comes from and things like that and what's actually behind the party from a philosophical point of view. And then the final thing that I wanted to mention was a name poll. So all of our members, just the members, not the mailing list, will be sent around a link to vote on a name. There will be some options. It's not going to be a binding poll. It'll just give us an idea of what's more popular or what's not, and make sure that we don't make a huge mistake when we register by choosing a bad name. So I think we have some good ones. We've got some good phrases and so on, so there'll be 2 parts to it, one for I like these phrases and one for I'd like this name. So cool, lots of stuff to look forward to. We will be in touch shortly. Thank you everyone for your amazing work in helping to recruit our members. We are experiencing about 50% organic growth at the moment, which is just absolutely fantastic. So keep doing that until we get to 550 validated members. We're going to keep gathering members. So keep telling people, keep getting them to sign up. It's absolutely fantastic to see everyone signing up and all the comments you're leaving. So keep doing that. Thanks, guys. I'll be in touch again soon. Cheers.